So do you really want to be the best in the UTME 2023? You want to top the list of the best 10 candidates, overall best students in the 2023 UTME? Then these are the things you are going to need to do. So please just listen to this and make use of it carefully. So we've been doing this for a long time, and many students have testified to it about how they aced the jam and how they became the overall best in it. When you see the top 10, don't you always feel like, okay, I want to be here one day, like I want to be the best of my kind too. I want to be recognized for what I do. Don't you always feel that way? And if you really want to get the best out of it, then these are the things you need to do. Number one, you need to have a mindset. You need to have that mindset. Number two, you need a mentor. You need someone that can put you through everything. Then number three, you need the right place, I guess. But many of us used to feel I can read alone, then what's there in jam, I can pass jam. Yes, you also need the right place if you have one around. Then number four, you need the necessary textbooks. There are some textbooks that if you read them, you definitely know you're going to do well. Then number five, which is I think is the most important. Most students used to feel they are preparing, but they are not actually preparing. They used to feel I'm reading, I understand this. I've seen many students that when I interact with them, they let me know that they're the best graduating students of their schools. But eventually, when they come around and you train them, you realize that these students know nothing. But with time, they get to cope, they get to adapt, and they get to realize the new system of learning. They get to see that, okay, these things are actually more than what I think I knew then. So one way or the other, you might feel you know, whereas you don't know yet. So you need to also get a way to know that you know. So not just feel like I ended the syllabus. When it comes to jam, there are ways in which you have to do it. So let's take it from the first aspect. That is mindset. You need to have mindset. Mindset is everything. The moment you have a mindset, you're not going to sleep, you're not going to rest, you're not even going to eat. Many a times they call you to come and eat. You're so engrossed. The momentum at which you walk, you're never going to stop. So that's one thing about mindset. So nobody's going to beg you to read. Nobody's going to wake you up. So the mindset that I want to have 360, 380 in jam, you want to even score everything, because I always tell my students, what you need to first think about is I want to score everything, 400 over 400. So if you're going to fall at all, probably you fall to 360, 370 or something like that. So that's the first thing. That's the mindset. So have that mindset to be the best, to be at the top, that you don't want to miss one question, because there are going to be 4 subjects you'll be taking. And out of these 4 subjects, if you score 90, 90, 90, that's 360. But many of you used to joke with your English. Let's say you know the rest of the subjects well. Most of the students that I've seen did well. Most of them used to try. Maybe like one of my students the last time had 97 in physics, had 96 in chemistry, but eventually had 50 something in English, which destroyed the score. And so the score dropped from 400 to 320 something. If he had scored like probably 90 also in English, he would have gotten to 370 or 360 and above. So that is the thing, the mindset, meaning that your physics, your chemistry, your biology, your English, or any of your 4 subjects must be 100% perfect. You must score nothing less than 90 and above. I'll still share a video on how you can score 90 and above in your exams. I'm still going to share that with you. But for now, you need to have a mindset that you need to score nothing less than 90 in the 4 subjects. So you need to get a very perfect physics teacher, a very perfect chemistry teacher, a very perfect biology teacher, and a very perfect English tutor, so that they can put you through everything and you understand how it goes. That's the first thing. That's the mindset. Then number 2, the right place. You sometimes feel like I can be at home to learn. I can learn everything at home on my own. Even your parents at times say that, which tutorial do you want to go? Is it not that tutorial that girls and boys used to follow one another up and down? All you just have to know is that irrespective of the tutorial you're going for a mindset thing. So this is you and the tutorial. When you get to a place and within like 1 or 2 weeks, you would have known. So if the tutorial can serve you right, you have to change. There are many tutorials that makes you feel welcome, that makes you feel we are teaching you, that makes you feel you already know everything. Whereas when you go deep down, you realize that you know nothing. So you need to follow the records of tutorials before you attend the tutorial. What does this tutorial used to produce every year? What were the previous students' scores? Interact with the previous students before you select a tutorial. So that's one thing. So You need to know the tutorial, because you need to be in the midst of people. When you are in the midst of people, you understand what it takes, and not just midst of people that really want to fight hard for these things, people that really want to get it too, people that have the same mindset as you. You really have to be in their midst. That's one thing. Then number three is that you need to get a mentor, a suitable mentor, a mentor that has been through that field, that has got above 300 before. It's always unfortunate sometimes when I reason it out that our teachers are the ones that they are sending to colleges of education. They are the ones that are sent to most of these college of education, and they gain admission to college of education with like 160, 150, 120. So it's always somehow to me when I hear it that who we became our teachers, who will put us to, we want to score above 300, but our teachers in colleges scored like 150 before they gain admission, and they are the same set of people that will come and train us. I always feel the teachers are the ones that their jam score, their cutoff mark should be very, very high, because they are the people that will come and train people about future, about life, about competition and many things. But I don't know if we're missing out on this. We'll talk about that. That's for another day. So you need to get a teacher, a tutor that has been to your field, that understand what it takes. I'm sorry, sometimes ago I did physics in my own jam and I scored 97. So because I had a bit of mentality, I had 93 in my chemistry there. Even when I got to AU then, I had 90 something in my chemistry as well. So that's a mindset that I had, that people have always been finding chemistry difficult. Then why can't I make it different? So that's one thing I did, and eventually chemistry, physics paid off for me. And everywhere I go, everything I do, I find it so easy. So you can get people like that that can train you, irrespective of your location. You can get people around that have been through this field and understand what it takes. So then number four, or that should be number four. So please, another thing is that you might be in a place and you feel, I know this thing, chemistry. There are sometimes people will ask me, I will give them questions. I realize most students, when they come around, I've seen a student before that when the parents came, they said, this student, she was the best graduating student of their school, I know. But when I put her through some tests, I realized that, well, to some extent, some students will be brilliant, especially when you had A in your WAEC and all these things. Many parents believe but the way things are going in this nation now, you have to understand what it takes to be in a university. You have to understand the subject very, very well, perfectly. So you have to understand many things, but it's so unfortunate that we get to believe we know when we actually don't know. If you can't prepare for 100%, then I believe you don't know yet. So we will talk about chemistry, we'll talk about physics, we'll talk about other subjects and the things you need to do in order to get to around 100. So if you aim to get 100 in every subject and you are scoring 60 something, that means you don't know yet, sincerely. It's not because your brain is dull, it's just because you have not been exposed to the things you need to know. So there are sometimes you will handle the exam and you realize that you score everything, virtually everything. You handle questions of 40 questions, 50 questions, and you end everything. And it will even get to a stage, if you miss one, it will really be so painful to you. So that's the mindset you need to have. So if you can do these three things, get the right mentor, get the necessary textbooks, and there are several textbooks that will be recommended to you depending on your subject. So try and get them. I'll talk on the ones I know about, the physics, the chemistry, biology, and English that I can recommend, but I'll be making a video on that later. So before your jam, I will try and do that. So in 2023, you have to be the best. In 2023, you have to come on the top. You need to have a mindset, a tutor. That's a perfect tutor. Be in the right tutorial. Don't do it alone. You need a group of people to do it with. Be in the right tutorial, get the necessary textbooks, and like I said, you need to know you don't know. Yes, that's the last part. So you need to know you don't know. That's one of the things you have to do. So please,